Well, hello there. Welcome back to another wine review with your Wisconsin Wine Guide. These are wines you can find on the shelves of your everyday liquor store, grocery store, and some wine shops. I do a review and give you my opinion, what I think about the wines with a simple system. Thumbs up, meaning I recommend that wine. I'm going to hang on to this. I'm going to enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it too. Three quarters, you know what? I tasted this wine at a party. It was banging, and I'm like, I have to bring this home. I have to keep some of him. This is the wine I'm going to share with my friends and bring out, introduce them to something new. Halfway, not so much for me, but doesn't necessarily mean it's not for you. It's just my opinion. Give it a try, then let us all know in the comments what you think about the wine. Thumbs down. Need I say any more to that one? All right, so here we go. We are revisiting. I love the opportunity to revisit wines. When I say revisit wines, we're talking about a new vintage. There's some wines in which it remains consistent every vintage. But then there's some wines that there's a slight difference. Then there are other wines where there's like a major difference in the wine. We're going to find out here. So we're going to be tasting the 19 Crime wines. Everyone out there knows about the 19 Crime wines by now, right? All right, so the 19 Crime Wines is based on the Living Label, so they have an app you can download. We download the app, that label or the criminal on the label comes to life, and they start talking to you and tell you what the crime they committed. Well, the story behind it is, briefly, is that the British Empire, got rid of the roughnecks. Said, you know what, you can't be a part of our society, so we're going to banish you to this island. The island we now know as Australia, and so it was male and female. We're getting rid of all the riffraff. We don't want you here in British, in England. So they banished him to the island. Island was colonized. Now we know it today as Australia. Australians make some awesome wines there. They're well known for their Shirazes, in addition to Pinot Noirs. And then you have New Zealand across the pond, who are well known for the bright acidity in their Riesling, Sauvignon Blancs, Pinot Noirs as well. But today we're talking about Australia and more specifically the 19 Crimes. So I reviewed these wines before. So we're going to be doing the 2020 Cabernet Sauvignon. Grapes are sourced from southeastern Australia. The vintage I reviewed before was 2017. So now we're at 2020, 3 years later. Let's see what happens. I'll always put in the comments, a link, or there'll be a video at the end of this video showing you click on this. You can read or listen to or watch what I said about that wine. So 2020 Cabernet. I reviewed the 2017 before. It's going to be awesome. The 2020, the Banished. What a heck of a name, the Banished, right? And I reviewed before the 2017 vintage. So now the Banished is actually composed of a blend. We have Shiraz, Grenache, and a little bit of what I got here, Cabernet. Shiraz, Grenache, and Cabernet, right? So there you have it. So let's give these a pour, and let's get to tasting. Wow, I'm so looking forward to this because I haven't seen the previous video yet to know what I said about them. I would consider that cheating. So I want to give my opinion now on this wine, and then later go back and review the wine, the video, and decide, wow, did it change or is it the same? So we have our Cabernet, and we have our, look at that. Now, you probably can't tell it from there, but I can tell it from here. This is the blend with the Shiraz. Shiraz always going to be dark and inky and rich and dense, and that's what you get here. I'm looking at the wines themselves, right, in the glass. I have my white background in front of me. You can't see that. The Cabernet is a little bit lighter. So, like dark, deep purple versus a ruby color here on the Cabernet. All right, so that's our two wines in color. Now for the nose. Oh, I mean, berry fruit, man. Plum, dark berries. A little bit of mint. Wow, it's been a long time since I smelled mint in a Cabernet. Wow, and then you get that background of smokiness, So this is aged in oak. Wow, nice. Now we have the blend, the Banished. That's a heck of a name, the Banished. You're out of here. Ooh, wow. Subtle spice, bursting with berries. You know, you get that initial dark berry, soft berry, then it comes to a very ripe berry in the middle on the nose. Almost like, almost blueberry or blackberry like. Wow, nice. Wow, that's pretty nice. Wow. And you get that, you know, cedar notes here. So that's the nose. I mean, they both smell wonderful. How do they taste? First sip for me is always going to be the rinse. And you know how I feel about having wines from the same winery. It's great so I can get an idea of where they're trying to go with this wine. And maybe it's just this level of wine. There's a level above that where they do something different. But this level here, let's see if we have consistency or is it up across. The varietals need to taste as the varietals, taste as themselves. But is there consistency of what they're trying to present to you as the drinker? The rinse. Now, when I'm rinsing, my mouth's watering. I want to, on the first sip, the rinse, I want to feel acidity. No acidity, no play. Now, I'm still tasting wine. I still have an idea about the finish, you know, but I'm tasting for acidity in this case. Acidity, and no, there's nice, if it's red, there's nice tannins there. All right? Not crazy, but they're there. Good structure. Now, wow, that finish is nice too. Okay, there's a nice richness, creaminess on that finish. That's pretty nice. Alcohol on the Cabernet coming in at 14%. Now for the blend, the Banished. That's going to be the Shiraz, the Grenache, Shiraz, Syrah, Grenache, and the Cabernet. Ah, again, tannins are a little bit more coming from the Cabernet. But acidity is very well blended here. It's a Shiraz. You know, even though there's other grapes there, I'm gonna say it's a Shiraz. Those berries come straight through. You know, it's been a long time since I had a Shiraz. But if you had a Shiraz, you love Shiraz, you know, that's like deep and full and rich and heavy and fruit depth. Well, you definitely pick that up here, you know, in the Shiraz. Okay? But acidity is blended in, okay? Doesn't stand out. You know, I'm not saying it's standing out as a bad thing, but if it's just all acidity, nothing else, that's a bad thing. But I like to have the acidity. I want my mouth to water. I want to feel the wine, okay? I want to know it's alive. So yeah, that's pretty nice. So now we're going to get to the second sip, which is where we start to discern if we like the wine, don't like the wine, what we taste, you know, what we should taste, what we don't taste. All right. I mean, there's a pleasantness to drinking this cab. I gotta taste it again because I'm trying to decide now with the tannins. You know, are the components out of balance? You know, are there so much tannins? Are the tannins, you know, just there? Are they blended? Or is it an afterthought? You know. I mean, the flavors are nice. With food, I think this is going to be great. Nice mid palate. Nice finish. I'm just like, ooh, I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to do one more of this. One more. You can see my mouth, right? I like the feel of that. And I like the taste. Put it with the right food. I mean, those berry fruits are just gonna like pop out. It's just gonna jump out at you. All right. Let's come to the blend, the Banished. That's Shiraz, Syrah, Grenache, and Cabernet. Now, between the two, let me give one more taste here, and I'll tell you which I like between the two. Between the two, I'm liking the Shiraz more. It's a cab. The cab is not bad, but I'm liking the Shiraz more. I like the fullness. I like the mouthfeel. Believe it or not, it's only 13.5% here, and I think I said 14% on the cab. But I just like the fruitiness that exists there. I mean, easy to taste or easy to drink. You know, not bad at all. You know, again, it's been a long time since they had a Shiraz. You know, but this is a Shiraz blend. But you know, to me, it's just all Shiraz. The finish is better on the Cabernet. This finish, it's nice, but I think the finish is better than Cabernet. You know, but that's a Cabernet. That's different. This different. Each wine stands alone. So let's give you my grade. Here we go. The final grade. I'm going to go with 3/4. 3/4 on the 19 Crayons Cabernet. I mean, I dig it. I like the finish. I like the tannins. I like the package. I like the way it comes together on my palate. So 3/4 on the Cabernet 2020. Now for the Banished. I don't think I have enough to taste. I got to get enough in there to rinse and taste. And you know, I'm going to go 3/4 on this too. I'm digging both of these. I totally enjoy both of these. I would drink these. I don't know what I said about the 2017 vintages. I'm curious to know what I said about those. The 2020 vintage, you know, it's pretty nice. I mean, good to drink. There's a rightness to it. I don't want to say sweet, okay? Some people will say sweet, but there's a rightness to both of these wines, you know. But I think it's very well incorporated in the overall package of the overall taste of the wine. So there you have it. 3/4 on the Cabernet, 3/4 on the Banished wine 2020. The video link will be inside the video. You can go check out what I said about the other wine. And I want to say, as always, let your palate be the guide for selecting your wine. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.